Going to try to find a little waterfall I located on Google Maps in Northeast Washington. I almost got to this one before with my girlfriend, but today I'm going to take a crack at it by myself. This is some really rough terrain. I thought it might be a little better in the fall, but we'll find out what we're going to find here. This creek is called Sweet Creek. There's a popular waterfall in the lower section that I usually recommend people to go to, but there's two other larger waterfalls on the upper portion of this creek that are near impossible to get to. So see if we can find a path to the lower portion of this and hopefully the upper portion. They're about 20 and 30 feet tall respectively. And this is episode number 1 of looking for waterfalls off trail or just waterfall videos in general. We'll find out if people like waterfall videos, and if they do, we'll take it from there. Got to change out of my work clothes here, change into off-trail clothes. I'm going to use a windbreaker and long pants, even though it's kind of warm out, just because there's so much brush out here. I need to make sure to block that stuff so I don't get torn up by all these thorn bushes and stuff. So let's go get them. Down there inside that canyon. I think I'm going to follow this logging road a little further, see how far it takes me before I have to dip down in there and start breaking through all these dry twigs. Alright, so we've started to make our way down into the canyon. I found a couple logging roads that are kind of zigzagging their way down. I've had to bushwhack a few times, but ultimately I'm not trying to go through this thick brush down these steep hills and such thick brush that I can't get back up, or I get lost or something like that. It's just not safe. So, but a lot of times there's logging paths or game trails that you can follow up and down these places. Sometimes you have to get off trail here and there, but I'm back on this nice wide switchback that used to be a logging road probably, I don't know, 100 years ago. Someone knew about this waterfall down here, so. Oh, this logging road got a little thick. I don't think I'm gonna be able to pass through here. It's not like the forests in Oregon where you can just kind of slither your way through where it's soft and mushy. This will tear you up. So maybe back to the drawing board, or I'll find another way down. So a game trail down there, it looks super steep. I don't know if I want to commit to that, but that might be the route down. Ugh. Stuck. You can kind of see this here. It's what we like to call a boot path, maybe. You can see where it's worn from either animals or people trying to find their way down there. So there's a little bit of a trail down there, and I actually see a red ribbon on the tree down there, so maybe that's an indicator I'm heading the right way. Here's another red ribbon. I'm getting close to the top of the upper falls here, but I kind of lost the trail, so I'm gonna have to push through some brush and hopefully find a way down. I think this is gonna be the way to go. All right, so I made it way down into the canyon. I'm right next to the creek, and I'm above the falls. I'm gonna cross here and try to get down below on the other side. Different approach from last time. But one thing I want to make aware is as I'm coming down, I'm continually looking back and trying to take like photographic memories of the places I've been, so that when I climb back, I can remember what it looks like on the way back up. Because you get lost if you don't think about it and you aren't aware of your surroundings. A lot of times when you get close to the creek or the waterfall, you kind of lose your mind, you start making poor decisions, you start sliding down steep hills that you can't get back up, or you don't remember your route back up. And then you end up wasting a lot of energy going up and down. When you waste energy, you get tired. When you get tired, you get hurt. So just be cognizant of your surroundings, look around for wild game, and watch your step, because when you're off trail bushwhacking, it's really easy to fall in a hole, twist your ankle, something like that. So I go really slow and I take it like one little step at a time as I'm going through this brush and trying to be very cognizant of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna head down here to the creek, hop it, and see what I can find. Sweet Creek, quite a mess. I see there's a red ribbon there, which means maybe you are supposed to cross right here. So let's see what happens. All right, well, I popped out into this great big beautiful opening. It shows the creek and the fall colors and whatnot. This would be a good place to rest. Now that you finally get down to the water, you can kind of more strategically kind of angle your way down to the waterfall. I'm right above it. I'm probably about 30 or 40 feet up the creek from the waterfall. It's just back over there. So I'm going to take a little breather here, and I see what looks to be a little route on the other side, so I'm kind of excited about that. I'm really hoping that's going to lead me down to the top one and then the lower one, and then I can scramble back through this. But for right now, I'm going to enjoy this little jungle. There's some moss and some ferns over here, little pockets of Washington that I love so much. So found some ribbons on the other side, which is a good sign. In fact, I see a trail of about 4 ribbons that lead that way. So I guess whoever surveyed this also agreed that shimmying down that cliff was not a good idea. Perhaps there's an easier route on this side. So fingers crossed, we just go down this little ledge here and reveal ourselves a 30-foot waterfall that's never been seen by man in 100 years unless you work for the Forest Service. So, oh my gosh, look at all these cool mushrooms. You know, sometimes when you're doing photography, the things that you find on your way to the destination are even better than the things that you find when you get there. Places I find in between, like that last little canyon. Whew! Yeah, now I might have to stop and photograph some mushrooms. I can't believe I'm gonna be that person right now, but these are, I've never seen anything like this. Hey, I gotta give it to you. Shooting mushrooms is actually a pretty tough sport here. I'm not a professional photographer by any means. So let me know in the comments below what you think of my mushroom photography. Even though this is supposed to be a waterfall channel, sometimes you run into cool stuff. You gotta photograph it. You gotta kind of test your skills, step outside of your boundaries. So let me know below how much you hate mushroom photography or whether you really love it. It's actually kind of fun. So I probably should have brought the macro lens, but I don't usually do macro photography when I'm off trail waterfall hunting. All right, I got to the top of the falls. Right over that ledge right there is about a 30-foot slide drop straight down. So I'm gonna go back up and over this way. At least I identified where it's at, what I'm working with. I'm gonna take another little breather. It's good to take it nice and slow. Don't get too excited. When you get close, make bad decisions. It would be easy to try to go look over one of these ledges and scramble down, but that's stupid. There's always a safer backtrack down and around. Think smart, goat thinking, and mountain goat thinking. Yeah. Well, there it is. The uppermost waterfall on Sweet Creek here in Northeast Washington. I don't know if anyone's ever even really seen it, but it was fun to find it and photograph it with these fall colors. I'm gonna get out my zoom lens here. I got the 24 to 240 ND filter, circular polarizer. So get a little more reach on him. Right now I'm just shooting with a 24mm prime. So I can only crop it in so much. I'd like to get some of those fall colors and really catch some detail on this before I climb down there and get some close-ups of it. point, I'm just following the red ribbons down the side of the creek. I'm guessing this might be an easy path down, or I'll find myself a little scramble route here where it's safe. I think this right here might be my best path. It's like either game or people have gone down there before, but I don't see anywhere where I'll tumble and fall off a ledge. It looks fairly safe if I just take it slow and easy. Coming up and down these hills, it's really nice to have gloves. I forgot my work gloves today. Any sort of like gardening gloves. I call them off-trail gloves. So go to Ace Hardware, spend $10. You'll thank yourself. You won't tear yourself up. Keep your hands protected. And you'll realize how important it is to be able to grab stuff when you're going up and down these steep hills. So that's where I came from. And I gotta get to the bottom. All right, made it back down to the base of the creek again. That was a pretty steep decline. It's always unfortunate when I go down one of those because I know I have to climb back up it. But I'm taking a mental note to remember kind of what it looks like, where I'm gonna go back up in this little mossy pocket here. I'm about to cross the creek again on a log, which will put me right at the base of the waterfall so I can get like an awesome perspective with all these fall colors. It's probably be the coolest shot ever taken on Sweet Creek. Maybe, possibly. I'm not that good of a photographer, but I think it's really cool that no one's ever photographed this, and it's a 30-foot waterfall. It's taller than all 3 other waterfalls on this creek, so let's go check it out. Down to log crossing back here. That's where I got stuck and clipped out last time, so sometimes you got to backtrack and go the unorthodox way. It's going to be the safer and easier way. All right, I made it back down to the creek. At this point, I'm just gonna make a conscious decision to walk through the creek. There's cliffs on that side. There's thick brush on this side. I could push through the thick brush if I wanted, but I'm gonna save so much time by walking through the creek. And then I should be able to get to the lower creek even more quicker. Bad grammar, but I'll be able to get the lower creek faster. And then hopefully I can just climb back up and out of here before my pants and feet are too soaking wet and I get too tired. Blows raspberry. Well, now we're just walking through the creek, which feels kind of nice because it was really hot. I was getting really warm from bushwhacking, so it's going to make this hike right up this creek super easy, so I don't have to go through all this brush. So the waterfall's right around the corner. So here we go. Woo! Yeah! Yeah, made it to the bottom. All right, well, I got down there in front of the waterfall, got a little shower, got a little wet, took a picture. I'll show you that picture now. Take a selfie, but I also always go back and take a raw image of that same photo so that I don't have like the HDR JPEG that I save on my phone. The photo I just showed you was completely unedited, came right out of my phone, transferred it. Sony has a smart remote system, takes 3 photos, blends them, sends them to your phone. Great for Instagram stories if you don't have time to post-process. So I don't even know if you can hear me, the waterfall is pretty loud, I'm probably yelling. But I'm gonna get wet, I'm gonna slurry down this creek to the lower falls, and then get out of this canyon, man. It's about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I only got a few hours of daylight left. All right, well, here's the other one. Got a 20-foot drop down there. I'm standing right at the top of it. You know, it's not nearly as impressive as the other one. There's a lot of like down trees down there, some windfall and whatnot, and it looks like it's gonna be just as difficult to get to the bottom of this one, but I'm determined to at least get up on this ledge and find an angle of it. It needs to be documented. I wish I had a rope. There's actually a pretty easy little path right down here. But slippery rocks, I'd be able to go down, but I'm not gonna be able to come back up, and that's never a good idea. So I'm gonna scout around the top of the edge here. It actually goes way up, so I might not even photograph this one. We'll see what happens. So just better safe than sorry. Well, I made it to the bottom. on top of this huge pile of down trees and alders. I got super dirty, super scratched up climbing through there. But you know, there's nothing better than finding a waterfall like this that no one has probably ever seen in I don't know how many years. I talked to some locals, they didn't even know that Sweet Creek had 2 other waterfalls hiding up here. You know, if they were smart, they'd build an extended trail system and viewing platform to clear all this stuff out. This would bring so much prosperity if there was an awesome waterfall hike in Northeast Washington that had 4 waterfalls on the same like 2-mile trail. So let's get with it. Forest Service, like and comment at the bottom of this video. If you love what I found today, check out the rest of my shots. I'm gonna try to hit these photos and get out of here. I saved my water, I saved my corn nuts, and I saved my energy so I can hike straight up out of this canyon. It's gonna be crazy. See ya. Steps. Oh, I'm out of there. I'm back on the walking road. I made it. I see my car. Car's a few hundred feet away. I have peanut butter cookies and Whoppers and lots of water, clean socks, sweatpants, clean shirt, change of everything. About a 2-hour drive home. Go process some photos and a video. Whew, feels good. Be back. 2 miles in the bush, up and down a canyon, 2 waterfalls. Sweet Creek Falls, never been seen before. Peace out, Waterfall TV. This is why I always buy shoes from the thrift store. I spent, I think, $15 on these shoes. I know I'll get to wear them probably 20 or 30 times like this. Beat the crap out of them. I don't feel bad for wasting a $150 pair of shoes from REI.